Welcome to Doc Talk, a weekly podcast featuring Monument Health physicians addressing medical topics. Tune into your health with Monument Health. Welcome to another edition of Doc Talk with Monument Health. My name is Mark Houston, and joining me today, both from Custer, South Dakota, Dr. Joy Falkenburg and Dr. Monaleze Saini, family doctors from Custer. Welcome, both of you guys. I'm so glad you're here.
Thank you. We're glad to be here, too.
Did you guys just drive down here? We working today and got in the car and cruised down?
Yes.
Busy day today in Custer?
Mine was calm and hers was busy.
Now, we want to talk a little bit about, since you guys are from Custer, and most people around here know of, obviously, the city of Custer. It's not a big town. And whenever I think of, when I saw the subject of what you guys wanted to talk about, the rural health care, what always pops into my mind is I always think of those old Westerns where you got somebody that's sick in their home,
Yep.
and the guy pulls up on the horse or in the wagon, the doctor with the suit on and the little case coming in. You know, to me, that's how I picture a rural doctor.
It kind of is like that sometimes.
Do you guys feel that way?
Yeah. I mean, sometimes it's like that, right? So, I mean, we have things that are, Mona's actually from Detroit, and I'm from between Edgemont and Harrison. So if anybody knows that tri-state region, 30 miles outside of Edgemont.
Yes.
Yeah, so I recruited her here to help me and take care of all these rural people. But, like, we literally do have things like you're standing in the ER talking to somebody and a guy walks in with an arrow through his neck. That hasn't really happened. Yes, it has.
Oh, my.
While I was delivering eggs to the ER, actually.
Oh, they need to make a movie about this. You
Yeah.
guys both need to be in there.
It's true.
Well, okay, let me start with you, Dr. Saini, because I watched a video of you that you did for Monument Health and was surprised to find out that you are from Detroit, Michigan.
Yeah.
So that has to be quite the change.
Yeah, I think, well, I did my training over in Rapid City at their family medicine program. That's also through Monument Health. And that's actually how I met Dr. Falkenburg.
Okay.
So we had to do one site that was rural, you know, either Custer or Sturgis or, you know, any of those other places. And man, she had such a reputation that preceded her, so I was pretty intrigued. So I came out and worked with her. And actually, it was such a great immersing experience because she took me in and I got to know people. And so I think the biggest thing with rural healthcare is the people. Urban healthcare is much, much different. And we see people utilize healthcare much more. And out here, I feel like they utilize it a little bit more judiciously. And also, in token, they are more appreciative and grateful of it. So to come here and have that kind of contrast was like, dang, I do want to do rural healthcare. This is exactly where I want to be.
So is that what you were looking for, though, when you started, when you decided you wanted to be a doctor?
Yeah, I think I just wanted a flavor of it. You know,
Sure.
I was just stuck in the city and it was getting old, you know, the same old. And so, and I wanted to do more full spectrum family medicine and a lot of urban areas, if you know, in medical communities, the primary care doc does very little other than refer out a lot of things too. And I didn't want to do that. I wanted to take care of people. And so in rural healthcare, because there's limited access or people have to drive however long to get to see a specialist, we did a lot of stuff that they would do. Like I do a ton of skin biopsies for the dermatologist. We do a ton of gynecologic procedures. We do all the prenatal care out there. We take care of all the kids out there. I mean, we do as much as we can with what we got.
Yep.
And I think that's actually makes me a much better doctor and human being. So,
Sure.
She also needed a husband and good food. And so what ended up happening is she ate at Skogan Kitchen a lot and married my friend.
Oh, really? Wow,
yeah,
you guys.
Yeah. So that was part of the
This is
recruitment package. Yes. Good job to Dr.
Thank you very
Falkenburg.
much.
Yeah.
Well, Dr. Falkenburg, then you are about as rural and local as it comes. Then, you are born and bred South Dakotan.
Oh, yes.
And in doing a little research on your background, you've known since you were a junior in high school?
Yeah.
This is probably
what I wanted to do or where I wanted to be. So I feel like I've been kind of led in this great journey. And initially, I knew I wanted to be in Custer. Like, I've always loved Custer. I went up there in an environmental camp and knew I wanted to live in the area. But also, my mom was kind of, she had medical problems and medical illnesses. So I knew that tri-state area is like my real love. Anywhere from Chadron to Lusk to over to the Pine Ridge Indian Reservation. Those are my people. Those are where I go to all the fairs. Those are where I walk the streets. And I just know, I feel like I know almost everybody deeply for a long, long time. And I wanted to help them. I wanted to give them a voice in a medical field that I feel like sometimes doesn't completely understand where they're from or who they are or what could be their vulnerabilities or what they're scared of or how we can communicate with them.
From doctors in bigger cities and to what you guys do, what really is the main difference just the fact that you get to grow up with these people as well? You get to constantly be in the grocery store. You see them there. You at church and in all of these different locations. Is that obviously seems to be most important for both of you?
It's a relationship. And to be honest with you, it's something that has been lost in a lot of medicine. It's active listening, and it's seeing somebody as a person, not as a disease, not as an illness, not as a hospitalization.
Right.
It's like seeing them as a whole person.
So then is that what you enjoy most about it?
Yeah, I honestly, I'll tell you, I think I was sent here from God to like have these deep connected relationships with people that sometimes I end up prescribing a medicine, but there's people all the time that just say, I just always feel better when I see you. And it has a lot to do just with an energy flow that occurs between us of them understanding that they've told me something and I've listened and I've reflected. And I just love that.
Well, and I think one thing you don't see too a lot is in bigger cities, even in Rapid City, although Monument is great with this. My doctor's here in Rapid, I've been going to him for 8 or 9 years. So having that relationship is so important. I mean, they come to you guys and you guys know where to direct them out.
Yeah, I think philosophically we only send them when we feel like we need to, right? So,
Totally. I would say we actually even start treatment and interventions, and we might do a few different rounds of different things, and then when we really can't or we need more help, then we'll consult or we'll send them or refer them. Or if it's a procedure, obviously we can't do certain colonoscopies, endoscopies.
Sure.
We don't do those over there. So for those things, when it's necessary for us to make a diagnosis or to help with a management plan, we utilize those.
yeah, we're not referralists. We are not referralists. We are comprehensivists. And
that's interesting. Yeah.
We feel as if we are charged with not only this person's emotional capacity, like how many appointments can they navigate? Do they have enough gas to get up here? Do they have the ability to drive in Rapid City? So we are charged with understanding who they are as a human being and doing as much that we can do for that person. Understanding also that these people are unique in this situation, that there are lots of times you can do something to somebody that doesn't necessarily improve their life. So we have those conversations. What do you want out of your life? What do you want out of the end of your life? What do you want out of this part of your life? They tell us, and then we respond to that.
In rural towns in South Dakota, you've got everybody has to be tough, right?
Yeah.
So when they come into the doctor, they're like, I don't even know if I need to see a doctor, whatever. And I think a lot of times that when they go to see you, maybe it's more just mental for them too sometimes. Is that they come in, they might be hurt, they might not, but maybe they just want to sit down and talk to somebody.
People want to be seen.
There we go.
Right?
That's where I'm going.
Seen.
Yes. Yeah.
And so what I can offer to people a lot of times is to listen to their story and see who they are, and then help them try to navigate the next part of their medical journey.
Right.
Because it's different for a lot of people. Some people, have a different trajectory.
Well, now, have you ever thought, because I believe your parents immigrated from India, correct?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
There has to be small communities there. Have you ever had a thought, maybe I take what I've learned here in a small community back to where I'm from?
That's a very intriguing concept. I've thought about that quite a bit, actually. And actually doing a little bit more holistic medicine and growing myself there is what I envision for that. The other thing I've thought about is actually kind of returning to like old school medicine and doing home visits. I do handful of home visits. I'm really busy in my practice right now, and I still cover ER call and hospital. But there's a few patients of mine that are just older and have a really tough time getting to the clinic. Like one of my patients, she's so sweet. She's 87 years old and she has dementia. Her husband's 90 and he carries her from the house into the car and brings her to clinic. And so, out of respect for him and his knees, which he gets steroid shots in every 3 months, I was like, I'll come visit you and do our home visits. And they've been so great. And I get so much satisfaction out of doing that type of medicine. So maybe in some, I don't know.
So it all kind of does come back around to that image I have in my mind of rural doctors.
Absolutely.
And I think I love it. I mean, I just love that image, and I love the thought that there are doctors like you two that will do that sort of thing. That's fantastic.
We love it too.
Well, and you talked about the holistic aspect, and next time we talk, I'd like to talk with you guys about that a little bit. So we'll wrap this one up right now with Dr. Joy Falkenburg and Dr. Monaleze Saini from Custer, South Dakota. Thank you guys so much for sitting down and talking with me. This has been fun.
Thank you so much for doing it with us.
It's Doc Talk with Monument Health.